This is Luke Rudkowski of WeAreChange.org. I'm here in beautiful New Hampshire, and I'm joined by the one and only Richard Grove of Tragedy and Hope. Now, Richard is not only an amazing researcher, but he's also a whistleblower going all the way back to 9/11. Richard, for people who may not know you, tell us your story.
Well, I used to work in corporate world and I was very successful and I had gone to college and I was making a lot of money, so I thought I knew everything. Back then I thought that everything was good until 9/11. I voted for Bush. I didn't know any better. I didn't know what a statist was. I didn't realize it was wrong to give away your authority like that. So I found myself in corporate world and I'm working in New York City and I worked on the 96th floor of the Trade Center. And I was there on 9/11 until the second tower blew up, at which time I left very quickly because I didn't know what was going on. It's outside of my realm. I'm from the Midwest. I didn't expect to see anything like that on American soil. One of the biggest shocks I ever suffered in my life. So then I began to diligently put all my time into researching what was going on in this world and how I could positively affect it. And through what I learned that I was frustrated with a lot of what was out there, so that urged me to create my own art.
Now, you found out a lot of things, especially with some of the personal things you were involved in. Can you just tell us quickly what you find out?
Well, what I found out is through getting another job after 9/11 that the world doesn't work the way you think it does. Not only with 9/11, but in the corporate world. So I went back very naive. I thought it was an isolated incident, that 9/11 didn't have anything to do with the corporations. And then I started learning about the put options and the bets that were placed on the airlines and the companies before 9/11. And then I started to ask questions about the nature of the work I was doing, selling software to financial services companies. At that time, I took a job at a place that was mandated to sell Sarbanes-Oxley regulatory software that was supposed to prevent another Enron or Tyco International from happening. I found out that the software we were selling to all these companies had a back door in it. And that back door led me to blow the whistle, and that led me to learn that the court system doesn't really work the way it should in this country. You can present evidence and they act like it never happened.
Now, you also do a lot of amazing research when it comes to the UN, Agenda 21, the Bilderberg Group, the Trilateral Commission, all these kind of secret societies, and all these kind of organizations that are pushing a particular agenda. We're kind of seeing all that right now just hit with the passing of the TPP. Can you tell us all the research that you've done beforehand? How does everything relate to this agenda that's bringing forth the TPP?
Well, when I first started looking into this lesser known history of America, all these things seemed seemingly disparate. The Council on Foreign Relations, the Bilderberg Group, the Trilateral Commission, all these different working groups seem like they're doing their own thing. Really, what they have is a long standing agenda. There's an ominous continuity over the past 100 years where they seek to take away the sovereignty of America, to denationalize countries, to globalize these systems, and to take away the rights from individuals. And that starts with the last will and testament of Cecil John Rhodes, which is talked about in this book called Tragedy and Hope, from which we took our website name. And then you can see how the Royal Institute for International Affairs created Council on Foreign Relations and these other working groups, of which Bilderberg's just one. These groups seek to just overrule anybody's individual will and impose their will on the entire planet. TPP is just the latest unfolding of that because like I said, it's a long-standing agenda, and you can even see their plans in the past manifesting into the future as we speak.
What kind of documents, what kind of plans have you kind of researched beforehand? What have you seen coming down the woodwork that's now kind of crescendoing with this TPP?
Well, real quick, I'll just juxtapose the beginning and the end. In the early part of the 20th century, the British Empire was collapsing under its own weight, sought to outsource, if you will, its opium and other empire-building strategies, and they made plans to denationalize America and to take over our State Department, to take over our education system, and to merge us eventually with the Soviet Union. So what you see today is a plan like the DCDC Global Strategy document, which in 2007 the British Ministry of Defense posted on their website. You can see it on their website, and it projects 2035 and tells you what the world's going to be like. And if you search America in there, it's talking about, well, there's going to be increasing social uprising, there's going to be terrorism, a lot of things we should be concerned about, and they're planning for it and executing on it now.
So, what are they planning? What are they executing? What's the next step here?
Well, the next step, I think, is really to educate individuals so that
Yeah.
they know that it's going on, why they should resist it, and how to get around it by not participating unwittingly or making decisions based on assumptions. So I think it's about individuals getting back to knowing themselves and familiarizing themselves with the actual and factual world around them and the artifacts and evidence which exists.
You also told me about this document that I didn't know exist. Can you just give me the kind of finalizing points that's continuing after TPP?
All right, so this thing called the DCDC strategic trends document. It was made in 2007. There's several versions. They've updated it since, but the one that's still posted on the Ministry of Defense website is projecting from 2020 to 2035, and they tell you what the world's going to look like before this stuff actually happens. So it's a plan like that in 2007 that actually goes out to motivate and kind of control Bilderberg, Trilateral, Council on Foreign Relations activities, because like I said, these are all same working groups. It's a finite planet. There's only so many people who want globalism for everybody, and there's also so many people right now who understand freedom. So it's our responsibility to speak truth to power and to make media and to help people change their own minds.
Richard, awesome work. Where can people find out more about you?
TragedyandHope.com, or you can tune into the Peace Revolution podcast.